All right, now let's talk about the Tennessee Volunteers. This is a team that, they have had a lot of really big wins this past season, and they don't leave it there. In the bowl game against Clemson, again, they have another huge win. So they're looking really, really hot moving down the stretch. And I think that's got them a lot of attention. And they have made some key additions here via the transfer portal, Nick. And we're going to get into those stories there in just a moment. But Tennessee fans, you had a lot of great additions. You have a lot of great recruits coming in. And you've even got some veteran guys on this team that look like they're going to be able to carry the torch for the next few years. But you are losing a couple of key playmakers, and a few of them even are going to the NFL. And that's why I want to know in the comments below, what player off of this extremely talented Tennessee team are you going to miss the most, seeing them move on potentially to the NFL this next season? Let us know in the comments below. But Nick, what do you got on the Volunteers?
Yeah, so the Volunteers, you alluded to it. They're missing a lot of key guys. They're not missing. They're graduating a lot of key guys as they move on to the NFL. I think a lot of these guys are going to be superstars, but that just means there's a lot of talent that needs to be replaced. And the Tennessee Volunteers, rightly so, are really active in the transfer portal. And this is from Ducks Digest, which is Oregon Ducks following on sportsillustrated.com. And here's their story about a transfer portal guy Tennessee just landed. I'm going to read from the report here. One of Oregon's top recruits in the 2021 class is headed to the SEC. Former Oregon Ducks wide receiver Deontay Thornton has committed to Tennessee. He announced his decision on social media Monday morning. Thornton was a big play threat for the Ducks, was a really young, talented, explosive player. He was a 4-star recruit out of Maryland, according to 24/7 Sports, and out of the 2021 class. Was a really talented, explosive guy, East Coast guy, returning back closer to the East Coast to Knoxville, Tennessee. Obviously, I think he's a big play guy. I think he's going to fit really into what Tennessee and Josh Heupel like to do, because you saw what happened with Hyatt and a bunch of other guys that are big play offense, and I think Thornton fits that role to a T. Miles, what do you think of this transfer portal addition, just everything Tennessee is doing this offseason?
I think a couple of the guys that Tennessee may be losing are guys that are big time red zone threats, Nick. Those big body receivers and guys like Hyatt and a couple of other guys that are leaving this team. But this guy in Thornton is going to come in and fill that role beautifully. He is such a sure-handed receiver, Nick. Coming out of high school and even at Oregon, he's a really big possession receiver. He's 6'4", so he's got the height and the frame, if he puts on a little bit more weight, to be a big time red zone threat. He's not necessarily super fast, but he's deceptively quick. He runs like a 4.6 40. But I just think this guy is really, really talented. Especially one thing that we like to look at in these young guys, Nick. In high school, he was a 2-sport athlete. He ran track, which is a pretty common one for football players, especially guys that are so fast as receivers. But he also did like the high jump, long jump. So he's got the hops to make really big, highlight style plays. But Nick, this guy is going to be a big time key playmaker for this Oregon team. But I don't think he's the only guy, for Tennessee team. But I don't think he's the only guy that Tennessee has.
No, so Tennessee, again, like we've alluded to, they're super active in the transfer portal. They keep nailing quality players to come into that are either going to be really nice starters or good depth guys. So this is according to Volunteer Country on Fan Nation. Arizona State defensive lineman Omar Norman Lott has officially announced his transfer decision, and the Tennessee Volunteers have got a commitment from him to come to Knoxville. Norman Lott, quote, had an outstanding visit with the coaching staff and decided to come to Knoxville. The former 4-star from California logged 45 tackles and 4 sacks with the Sun Devils. He has 3 seasons of eligibility left. Miles, this is just another West Coast guy that's a good, solid player. He's a playmaker. He's going to come to the SEC. And again, will he be a superstar? Will he be just a situational contributor or somewhere in between? That remains to be seen. But to me, Miles, this is just a further indication of the recruiting power Tennessee has as a national force once again. Look, we know they have to dominate what we talk about the Smoky Mountain corridor, when you talk about the Carolinas, Tennessee, North Georgia, all that area, and Tennessee does a great job recruiting there. But the fact that they're getting transfer portal guys from the West Coast, from Arizona, from California, from Oregon, it just shows to me that this is a team that can recruit nationally and pull players all over the country. And it just shows to me that the Volunteers are going to be a top flight contenders in the SEC and frankly in the NCAA playoff picture for a very long time.